Okay, our lesson today is lesson 58, multiplying polynomials. We all remember what multiply meant. We just multiply two numbers, maybe 3 times 2. 3 times 2 would be 6. And what is a polynomial? Well, the prefix poly just means many, and nomials means many numbers. Many numbers. Poly numbers. Polynomial. Poly means many. Nomials means numbers. Okay, how would we multiply these two numbers here? 3 times x plus 1. Well, we have to use the distributive property. So we would distribute the 3 to the x, and we would get 3x, and then we would multiply the 3 times the 1 and get plus 3. Okay, how would we do the next one here? Well, 4 times x squared would be 4x squared, and we distribute the 4 to the minus 3 over multiplication, so that would be minus 12. And what about the last one here? Well, we distribute the 2x to the x squared, and we would add the exponents here because they're like bases. So we would get 2x cubed, and then distribute the 2x to the y, and they're not like bases, so we just simply write them as 2xy. That product is 2xy. Okay, what is a binomial? A binomial simply means two numbers. Okay, we did this back in elementary school, 23 times 14. How did we do that? Well, we multiplied the 4 times the 3, and got a 12, carry 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 1 we carried was 9. And then 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 2 is 2. And notice that we index the 3 under the 9 because really that's the tens column. This is really not a 1 here, this is a 10. This means 10 times 3, which is 30 really. You could put a 0 here. So and then we would add the columns 2, 2, and carry 1, 3, 22. Okay, so this is a binomial times a binomial, and we have a little trick or a little mnemonic that we can use to multiply binomials. We can use FOIL, F-O-I-L. The F stands for first. First times first. First term times first term. Here's the first term. Here's the first term. So if we multiplied 2x times x, we would get 2x squared. The O means outer. Okay, here's the outer term of this binomial. Here's the outer term of this binomial. So 2x times 5 would be plus 10x. And the I stands for inner, I-N-N-E-R. Okay, here's the inner term of this binomial. Here's the inner term in the middle here of this binomial. So the product of minus 3 and x is minus 3x. And then L stands for last. And here's the last term. Here's the last term. Minus 3 times plus 5 is minus 15. And as a rule, the outer and the inner terms will add. There will be like terms, and they'll add. So our answer would be 2x squared plus 10x minus 3x would be 7x minus 15. And that would be our product of these two binomials. Now remember, we did this multiplication here the way we learned in elementary school. Let's see if we could do it this way, FOIL method, and see if we'd get the same answer. First times first. Well, 10 times 20 is 200. Outer times outer. 4 times 20 is plus 80. Inner times inner is plus 30. And last times last is plus 12. Well, let's see. 200 plus 80, that would be 280. And 30 plus 12 would be 42. So I think that gives us the same answer, 322, that we got right there. Okay, what about a binomial times a trinomial? We did this, again, we did this in elementary school, a binomial times a trinomial. We did it in a vertical format. But here, probably the best way to do these is in a horizontal. Well, we could do them in a horizontal or a vertical format. Here, let's do these in a horizontal format. Let's multiply each term here times each term here. Notice that's what we did here. We multiplied each term here times each term here. We multiplied the 6 times the 2, the 6 times the 1, the 6 times the 5, and then we skipped over 1 to get the like terms lined up. 5 times the 2, 5 times 1, and 5 times 5. Drew the line, added up the columns. Okay, so let's do this in a horizontal format. So let's multiply 3x times x squared. We would get 3x cubed. Let's multiply 3x times minus 4x. That's minus 12x. And 3x times minus 6 would be, whoops, that's minus 12x squared. I was about to forget that. X times x is x squared. And then 3x times minus 6 is minus 18x. And then we multiply 4 times x squared plus 4x squared. 4 times minus 4x minus 16x. And then 4 times minus 6 is minus 24. We have some like terms. Here's a like term, here's a like term. Change colors, and here's a like term, and here's a like term. So let's add those together. There's no other x cubed term, so our answer would be 3x cubed. We have minus 12x squared plus 4x squared is minus 8x squared. And then we have minus 18x minus 16x. They're both minus, both negatives. So we just add them together and put whatever sign they are. Minus, I think that's 34x. And then minus 24. So this would be our answer here to this multiplication problem here, where we did this binomial times a trinomial. Lesson 58 homework, 1 through 12, 15 through 17, 21, 26, 29 through 30. And after watching the video, please send me the answers to number 5, 8, and 10. Also, I strongly suggest that you work at least 5 additional problems from the homework before class in order that you be able to complete the assignment in class.